Hey, Jamie,
Hello.
Bella. Thank you for joining.
Isabella in the magical library room.
Yes.
How
So
was Germany, Jamie? Are you still
It
there?
was wonderful. And the German weddings are insane. It was 11 hours from start to finish.
Gosh.
Like I'd never been to a wedding that lasted until 2 in the morning like that. It was
Oh
crazy.
my goodness.
Yeah,
How long
but a
was
lot of
like the
fun.
actual ceremony?
The ceremony was like 45 minutes of that.
Okay, that's good.
The
That's
rest of
good.
it was all party.
Okay, good, good. That's at least
Lots
the
of
boring
food.
part was quick.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
crazy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So good to see you all. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you. I'm also admitting my assistant Destiny, joining right now. Great to see you, Christina, Cody, Jamie. Let's wait one more minute. I'm going to check my messages and see if anyone said that they'll be late. So good to see you all.
Good to see you.
You guys, with the Author Nation website, I have a little bit of a challenge like accessing it.
I have that same challenge. I have that it doesn't, my co-writer Vicky has no problem, but I can't, it always times out or something on my computer. I actually have to use a different computer to get to the Author Nation link.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were having like some issues before that should be solved at this point, but like if you like you should definitely be able to access it without Wi-Fi like on your phone. And then if you have issues on your computer, it might help to like clear cache or something,
Yeah.
or like try a different browser.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm going to try that because I didn't do the messaging as much as I wanted this time.
Oh, that's fine.
It's great to see you all. It's so good to have you here, Teresa and Destiny. Thank you for joining. It's good to see you. Let's do a quick round of introducing ourselves and then saying what we were able to accomplish based on what we set for ourselves to do. I'm going to paste the recommended order in the chat. So it would go mostly alphabetically. Um, I'll begin if that's okay, and then I'll give you the mic, Cody.
Okay.
So I was really happy to be there in a meeting today. So this week, Isabella, thank you for having the meeting with Oriana. Very informative. I was there in the beginning, so I didn't see exactly what the projects were that you showed later on. I'm very curious to watch the recording. Um, I've been meeting with Destiny and my team every day, trying to like spend a few minutes working on Kickstarter, and I think it's been good for me rather than postponing to Thursday or Friday morning. I've been doing a little bit of that every day. Um, and yeah, I feel a little bit more energized. I looked at Willow Winters. Do you guys know her?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Willow Winter is just someone who is very inspiring for me as to the community that she built and how she leveraged Kickstarter. So I'm really trying to learn from her. And yeah, I think that's all from me. Cody, to you.
Great. John, I'm glad to hear that you're feeling more energized.
I
Uh,
was really depressed last week.
Hopefully this group helped too with that.
Yes, it really.
Um, I write psychological science fiction in sort of cautionary utopias. My third book is coming out later this year. But I've been working on a Kickstarter for the Made in LA anthology series, which I'm one of the editors for and the publisher. So that funded successfully at the beginning of the month. The money has arrived in my account, which makes me want to do a little happy dance. Like that's always
Yay!
good to have the funds arrive. And my office is a mess because I've got all the boxes and envelopes and books and everything strewn everywhere, and I've done electronic fulfillment, and now I'm moving on to the physical fulfillment. So that'll be this week is getting all that sorted.
Great. There was on your task, there was send payments to editors and contributors.
Yes, I have sent all the contributors their payments. I need to send the volunteers and editors their payments, which I can probably do maybe this afternoon.
Okay, great.
Um,
Finalize launch day celebrations scheduled for July 1st.
I've got so I'm working on a like compilation thank you video from all the contributors. So that's in process. I'm headed to one of our local bookstores to talk to them, and we'll probably do something related to the launch there. But there's a few more things I want to add to that plan. So that's like a 50% accomplished goal.
Okay, great. Good progress. I'd love, I know I haven't like backed the project, but I'd love to maybe like come and see you in that event at the local bookstore when you have that set. Okay,
So we're gonna do the plan is to do Skylight books in Los Feliz, Vroman's in Pasadena, the Book Jewel out in Westminster by the airport, and then I think there was one more that I'm forgetting. Yeah.
I love that. That's great. That's great. Thank you, Cody. Okay, perfect. So next we have Isabella. How have you been?
I've been good. Not a whole lot, other than just like gearing up for launch next week. So that will be Tuesday. And I
That's the
finalized
that's
all
the
the
that's the romance launch? Or
Yes, yeah. So this will be July 1st through August 1st, and I finished up the graphics today, so that was good. We're waiting to get a like proof copy, and then we'll replace like our main project image with a video. But other than that, pretty much everything on the page is finalized. And now I'm just kind of working on like researching like backer updates and like I'm, planning on doing those like twice a week and stuff like that, and kind of like what people expect to see in those and how much is too much or too little communication kind of thing, because I don't want to annoy people, but I also don't want people to not know what's going on. So this week that's my goal, is just to kind of like look into like effective communication strategies when we launch, and then beyond that.
okay, great. Great. Well, it sounds like a lot of progress. Can you share with us again the Kickstarter pre-launch for the romance? That would be great. Okay, thank you, Isabella. Next, Jamie, how have you been?
I've been good. I was not here last week because I was traveling for a family wedding in Europe, and it was a wonderful trip and great fun for all of us. But I'm back, and while I was away, the audiobook narrator and editor sent in all the files for the audiobook. So that was the last piece of the digital puzzle I needed to fulfill. And so I took on fulfillment this week as soon as I got back. And so all the digital files are now fulfilled for my backers. And I have a kitchen table full of boxes and that are all packed up and ready to label and ship. And they'll get picked up by the post office on Monday. One nice thing about shipping direct through U.S. Postal Service is you can actually have them pick up your boxes for you. And so I just put them on the front porch and they're gone by the end of the day. It's wonderful.
I love that.
Isabella asked a question about filling out how long should we allow for people to fill out surveys? And like Cody said in the answer that he gave, they are most of them will fill it out pretty quickly within a few days. But there will be some people that lag behind. Kickstarter sends some reminders for up to a week or so. And each time they send a reminder, I can tell because a couple of people trickle in. I still have 3 backers that did not fill out their survey, and I have they were all 2 of them were digital backers, so I just used the email address they provided to Kickstarter to send their files and didn't worry about them filling out the survey. And the other one's my cousin who never fills out her survey. And lucky for her, I have her address in my personal address book. So I just mail her stuff out to her. So, um, but that's that.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. Next, Christina, how have you been?
I too missed last week. And I figured out the items and the tiers. So thank you for that. And my co-writer and I, she's been out of town. We're meeting next week to finalize this. So I'm not going to share anything with you guys. The only other thing I've done is I looked at a lot of other, I went to the meeting on Tuesday too, which was really helpful. And I'm trying to do those little banners for each of the sections on Kickstarter, and I'm working in Canva, and I am not a visual person. Like I am not. So I'm taking this Booth's poverty map of 1888 and trying to, anyway, I spent far too long trying to do this. So may outsource this to my husband who can do this, but does not take direction from me. So we tried it once and he was not happy with the direction. So I think I may outsource. It's just, I hats off to everyone who does those. I just spent hours and hours this week trying to do it. And I was like, I can't, it doesn't quite look like I want it to look like. So anyway, that was all the stuff from Kickstarter. I'm also in the middle of a different novel that's not for Kickstarter. And honestly, I've been putting a lot of my effort there since our Kickstarter is not going to launch until September. So, but without this group, I tell you, I would probably not have done any of those things. So
Great. And we will hold you accountable for next week for getting,
thank you.
like, and we would love if by next week you will be able to share with us the tiers and just,
The
put-
banner, hopefully,
Yes,
those little
yes.
banners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christina. Next, Teresa. And then after that, we'd love to have Corey as well. And maybe Destiny, you can say what we've been doing this week. So, Teresa, you're still on mute, unfortunately.
There we go. So I also missed last week. I went on a little writing retreat. We thought we were going to get there a little earlier, so I would have time to check in, but we didn't. But it was fabulous because I got writing done, so that was amazing. For my Kickstarter, I have been looking at other campaigns. I've discovered that I need to change my covers because even though I love them and my fans love them, I'm also limited by because they're not really to market. They're not really cozy. My genre is cozy travel mystery, so kind of a smaller sub niche, but they don't really say cozy mystery. So I'm working on that. I don't have to make a whole lot of changes. It's more brighten them up, fix the font some, so it's not gonna. They're just kind of dark right now and moody, which I love, but if I want to reach, my target audience. So anyway, so I'm working on that. And then I did get a lot of my rewards set and I've got the bones for my story. So I did make progress, even though I've been kind of fiddling. I feel like you, Christina. I'm like, this is not my strength. I'm like, I know what I like when I look at it, but creating it is an entirely different story. So.
Great. And thank you for joining us today,
Thanks.
Teresa. And if you'd like to share later on some of your rewards or have any consultation, we're here for you.
Okay.
It's great to have you. Corey, thank you for joining. I will let you know, guys, that I was going to admit no one past 2 minutes being late. And since I saw Corey's name and I was like, okay, I'll let you in, okay.
I'm so sorry. I totally lost track of time, and I somehow had it in my head this meeting was at 2, and then I looked at my phone and I was like, oh no, it's 1 o'clock right now. So anyway, I apologize for being late. I also wasn't here last week. I was having summer adventures. So my goal was to get my campaign fully updated and to settle on a date for the launch. I did both of those things. So my campaign is essentially ready to go. There's still a couple of things that I need to do. I need to work on a video. I have a video in there right now, but it's not very good. And I want to do some work on that this week. So that'll be my goal for this week. And if y'all want to take a look at the campaign, that's totally fine. And we have time. So.
Yeah, we'd love to. I have a question. Did you send in your newsletter about Kickstarter?
Yeah, so I have been sending in my newsletter. I send 2 newsletters a week. And for the last couple of months, I've sort of been peppering in Kickstarter newsletters here and there, saying like, hey, this is, I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter and here's like some images from it, or here's the book or whatever. I just, got this cover design or whatever. And also I've been sharing other Kickstarters for people to get a little bit more familiar with the pro, with the process of pledging and so on and so forth. And I also am thinking about putting together a video similar to one that I saw on another Kickstarter page where she had essentially like a quick video of like, here is how you order on Kickstarter. Here's how to do add-ons. Here's how to choose whether you want, pay all at once or pay over time or whatever, which I thought was really helpful, particularly for new people. So I have all my emails planned out right now, but I haven't set them up yet for like what'll go out before the campaign and what'll go out during the campaign, with a couple of different like instructions, teasers, so on and so forth.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I would love to date if you'll be able to share with us some of that. That would be great. I want to introduce those who weren't here last week to my colleague Destiny, who is helping me with the project. Destiny, would you like to introduce yourself and maybe say what we've been up to this week?
Hello, greetings everyone. Is my audio working?
We can hear you well.
Good, we love when technology works. Okay, so I'm Destiny. I am sort of part of Metal Photos Kickstarter. My official title is still work in progress. Anywho, lately, what my team been up to with the whole Kickstarter thing is we will officially all been added as collaborators to Kickstarter, which is amazing. We started financially titles, subtitles, the links, financially the basic session, the story session. It's still a work in progress, but if I can say so myself, so only can trust me. I still think we're making good progress, even though it's still very much a bit messy work in progress, but still good progress. And also, I've been doing some added resource into other tutorial campaigns for like the batting purposes inspiration, and it's been quite fun to just like wow people creative, and also I cannot make unresponsible financial decisions.
Good job. Good job. Thank you, Destiny. And Destiny, maybe if you don't mind later on pasting that campaign that had GIFs in it. I want to share it with everyone because I think it was just unique to.
I will find it.
Thank you so much. And tell me once you've pasted it. All right, you guys. So let's spend the next 20 minutes or so sharing what's stopping us, or either sharing a success or sharing something that is like a bottleneck for us. For me, in the past 2 weeks, I really felt like I needed help, which is why I brought Destiny. And like Destiny shared, now she is a collaborator on the campaign, on the old campaign and the new campaign that I'm editing. And it's so nice to feel like someone is working with me closely. Otherwise, it's hard for me to make any progress on this. Anyone would like to share?
I'd like to share. I got a kind of a wild idea that I'm a little scared to do, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I noticed that several people had included a shipping phone number for in the shipping information. So I'm going to record a personal video when I mail their package and text it to them. Hopefully that's a textable address, phone number, and just kind of try to do something. I've been trying to this year consciously do more to create super fans. And this is one way I think I can connect with people. I'm a little afraid to start doing it, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. I think people will be excited to hear directly from me about the campaign. So that's something I'm going to be doing on Monday.
It's amazing. It's when you were saying that, Jamie, I was like, well, Jamie is creating super fans. That's, as you were saying that, I was like, that's exactly how to create, that's exactly what the book's about, super fans, right? Like that's exactly what they talk about, that extra mile. I think that they'll be really happy. Maybe, maybe someone will not receive, or maybe one might get like, I don't know, bewildered. But the few that would love it will become your super fans. That's really great.
Excuse me, everyone. I have found the link.
You
It is
found the link?
now insert.
Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, again, Jamie, that sounds very exciting. I wanted to share with you this link because this was the first time that I saw images that were moving. Images that were moving. If you all click on it, so it's not the video, it's the actual images. And I thought that if it's not too difficult to create images with a little bit of an element of motion, I think it can go a long way, right? They are cute.
I can
Yeah, so again, I think it just makes the images come alive. And I think probably today with AI, you can just ask the AI to make them move a little bit more. I just thought that it was arresting, and I wanted to share that with.
If you want me to share a screen, I can show you. I did GIFs on our page as well.
Oh, of course, please share.
So we don't have, we're waiting on the proof copy, but so those will also probably be GIFs with the special edition features. But I can share, you should be able to see my screen. So because we had 30 authors for this anthology, the most feedback I got was that the campaign page was too long. So originally I had all 30 authors like featured and review quotes for all of them. So I split it up into like 5 different things and they'll just cycle through.
Nice.
But I think review quotes are always like a good thing to have. And I do have a question that might be a dumb question for the group that I will share. So normally you have to submit even once you're in pre-launch to have your project approved before you launch. I think our project was already auto approved just because we've been working with the Kickstarter team.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make sure that this was what you were supposed to see on your screen and you just click, for people who have done this before.
Yes, that's what you do. Just don't click that button until you're actually ready to launch.
That's what I figured because I knew you're supposed to submit it a few days in advance, but I'm like, this seems like it would just launch it right away.
It will be
So
live.
It's like putting a
gonna
big
touch
red
it.
self-destruct button on the
Yeah.
dashboard. It's like, don't do that.
So
Don't
I'm planning on like I don't know if you recommend like a certain time, like on Tuesday. Like I was thinking like 9 a.m. Central or something like that. If people have found who have done like multiple campaigns, like a certain time works better than others.
I think it probably just makes sense to launch at a time like fairly like in the morning, around 9, 10. Kickstarter will send an email when it launches to all of your followers, and then you can send an email to your mailing list if you at that time, or like an hour or two later if you want to keep the momentum going. I think it's actually more important for when the campaign ends, because you want to be able to be sending emails. Like you probably want to try and schedule the campaign so it'll end in the evening or like late afternoon or something like that. So you have one last day to push for pledges.
Okay.
I've heard
makes sense.
I've heard Anthea and Oriana both say that the Kickstarter automatically sends an email out 8 hours before it ends. So you're right, Corey, they both recommend ending it in the evening. So you don't want to choose like 21 days. You want to choose a specific end date, because if you do 21 days, it's going to end at the same time you start. So you want to do a specific end date and then choose it in the evening is what they've recommended.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
These tiny things are really important, actually.
Yeah.
Great. Isabella, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you all.
And thank you for asking. There are no
Yeah.
dumb questions. All of my questions are dumb. So there are no dumb questions. Go ahead, Lisa.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the idea about the rotating images that you've got. You created the GIFs because I'm going to include images in the books that are the photos that I've taken that inspired the scenes at the end of each book. And so instead of having the big long page, I can do what you're doing. And so that way all the images can be included, but it won't be this huge, overwhelming, endless scroll. So thank you for that.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
great. I've seen some cool ones with like the special edition features where they're like boomerang kind of things. But I haven't tried doing that yet. So
Did you make those in Canva or?
yeah, I just made them in Canva with like basically I took all the static images I had and just dumped them into one thing, and then I just put like some kind of transition and download it as a GIF.
Okay, cool.
Great. Anything else? Anyone else?
Well, since we mentioned the like ending your Kickstarter at the wrong time thing, and you had asked about like fears and roadblocks and whatever, I think we talked previously about that I initially was planning on like launching this Kickstarter several months ago, and I decided not to do it because I wanted to build up a little bit more of a pre-launch followers before I did that. I also was like terrified of doing another Kickstarter. So I did my first Kickstarter in January of 2024. And I funded and I like, it was successful from the outside, but it was not like I wasted a ton of money. I made a ton of mistakes, and I don't want to do that again. And I made that mistake exactly of setting my campaign for whatever 20 days, and then it ended at 9 a.m. and I couldn't change that after the fact, So like that was one of the many mistakes that I made on my first Kickstarter. So I've been very nervous about doing this again, but at some point I just kind of accepted that like I've already spent some money. I'm not going to make anything back on that unless I actually run this Kickstarter. And I think making all of those mistakes gave me a much better perspective on where the pitfalls are and the things that I want to prepare myself for and the places where I want to spend my money and so on and so forth. So just a little bit of encouragement that like for myself as well, that like you don't necessarily need your campaign to be, a $40,000 campaign in order for it to be successful. Like it's really important to go into it with expectations that you think you can meet, and also, the with a sense of adventure, which is how I'm trying to approach it instead of being worried about things. So
I think
That's
this
a
is
great,
being useful for all of us to hear.
yeah.
no, that's a great perspective. And I think as like we were talking in the groups, like some people are trying like doing like smaller things or like maybe like not doing shipping for the first one so they can kind of see how it works, and like that kind of stuff is really useful too, I think.
Yeah, I was too ambitious.
Yeah.
That was like my key error, I got real excited, and even though I had read all of the advice that was like start with a smaller campaign, don't overdo it, and I totally overdid it. I totally spent too much money on art. I totally like, got ahead of myself as far as my budget, and I was like, absolutely, this will all totally work out, and it did not work out. I mean, it worked out fine, as in like, as far as Kickstarter is concerned, I've run a successful Kickstarter. It did not work out in terms of like actually making me money, and that was something that I'm hoping to avoid this time.
Do you think you've acquired any new followers through that?
I certainly have. Like for my first campaign, I think I had like, I don't know, between 15 and 20 pre-launch followers, and most of them were like friends and family. Now I'm at 95 pre-launch followers, and I don't think that they're I mean, they're not friends and family. I don't have 95 friends and family. So these are people who have come to it organically through the campaign, or people who have seen it in my newsletter. I think promoting it for a long time and in a bunch of different places has been really helpful. And I think that this project is much more suited to the Kickstarter audience than my first one was. My first one was a college football romance. And romance does well on the platform, but it tends to be like romantasy, paranormal, that sort of thing tends to be more successful. And I also expected that more of my newsletter audience would come over, and that didn't turn out to be the case. Like they just didn't have as much interest in Kickstarter. So I'm glad that I've sort of built more interest on the platform itself before I tried to launch. And I also was more careful about how I spent my money this time. And I feel like I made better choices that will make it easier for me to ship things, easier for me to order things, so on and so forth.
Great, great. I just like to tell you personally, Corey, that you are an inspiration. Very much so in your entire attitude to it, and also coming into every meeting and supporting everyone so much. You really are an inspiration. I want to tell you that you'll even make mistakes in this new campaign.
Yes,
And
I already have. I
Oh,
already
yeah. But I do see a great future. Like I see Lily Cahill having another campaign and another campaign and another campaign and so it's good for you to like trust that it's just move on with it, and I'm excited to see your campaign being live.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Anyone else? And also screen sharing or
I have one like very specific question for those of you who are shipping out like book boxes. So not just one that you can stuff in an envelope, but like multiple books in a box. What do you use? Like what do you that for me, I haven't like figured that out yet, and it's time to start shipping things, and I'm need to figure that out.
What do you need to ship? Or sorry.
Like 6 paperbacks in one book bundle.
Yeah, because I also ship from my website, books. So I have I've bought like a box of boxes that are appropriately sized. I have small box, middle box, and big box. And I just kind of find the smallest size that'll fit what I have to ship. That means you're going to lay out a little bit up front, and it'll depend on how much storage you have to have like a box, empty, collapsed boxes stacked somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's something you can do. And if you can buy them rather than buying them individually, if you can buy them in bulk, obviously you save some money there in the long run if you're planning on doing multiple Kickstarters or selling direct or things like that. So that's what I do. And I use I use crumpled paper to pack,
Okay.
for packing materials. And that seems to work very well and compresses well, so you can protect the books during shipping.
Yeah.
And it can be nice too to like wrap the books in tissue paper or wrapping paper or something like that, just to protect them. And then also it's a nice little extra feature when they get the books.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to you could obviously just do plain boxes, or you could do themed boxes, like boxes that you design that have some element of your campaign or the color scheme or something like that. That can also be fun.
There was someone from the Science Fiction Writers Association who said that they use plain boxes, but they color coordinate them. So she's got for her series like red, gold, and black is like the colors. So she just found some like appropriate colored boxes that weren't like custom printed, but that fit with her branding. And then had like a sticker or something on it to make it look nicer. So I think there's some creative ideas out there, and I want to do some of that, but maybe not the ultimate level. Like I don't want to spend a lot of money on it, but I know I need to do something. So
I
that's
have
helpful.
logo stickers that I include in the box, but I started the last Kickstarter I did, I actually put them in the box, but then I also put one affixed to the outside of the box. So when they get the box in the mail, they're going to know it's from me. And
Hmm.
so I thought that would be, something that would be, I know I'm excited when I look at a box and it actually I can identify it from, through the window on the front porch. So I think it's nice to have that kind of excitement build from the moment they see the box.
Now I need to print some stickers.
I'm I'm also gonna include in our box because it's like Vegas is part of the thing, like Vegas postcards and like just a quick thank you note. Like since
That's
your
cute.
thing is LA specific, you could do like
Yep.
bulk LA gift or postcards or whatever. Like I'm not gonna get them custom designed or anything. I'm just gonna order like a stack of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking a handwritten note was probably the way to go, just to, make it feel personal.
Yeah.
Great, Cody. Anyone else? Any dilemma, Christina?
I was just curious, what do you use when you're just shipping one book? Is it an envelope or a box?
I'm using envelopes. They're like the envelopes that have on the inside some padding, the plastic bubble wrap kind of padding.
Right.
Those I've been doing that for a long time for just media mail labels on top, and then that's worked well. It's not flashy. It doesn't look great, so I might upgrade that to like something nicer, but that's worked for a while for me.
I have
That's
seen
what I
that.
use.
Yeah, I use the bubble wrap envelopes as well, and they have them in different colors. I've just been getting the craft paper ones, but they do have them in different colors that you can order. So
That's good to know. Okay, let's begin to think about what we want to accomplish by next week. Some of us were in hiatus, pre-summer travels, weddings in Europe. What do we want to do for next week? What do we want to accomplish? And let's write it in the chat. And I will hold you accountable, guys.
So I have a question about next week. It's 4th of July.
Good catch, Christina.
So I will be here, but it's
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not going away until the next day. But yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
just didn't think we were having.
yeah, I think you're right. Let's do a little bit of a democratic thing. Do you want to do it on a Thursday before? Do you want to skip a week?
I've got a commitment Thursday. I'm actually speaking at the Mensa annual gathering next
Ooh,
Thursday.
you're so smart.
I don't know if I am, but they are, so I'm a little nervous. I'm fine with skipping a week, but that means our commitments have to be, twice as hefty, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to meet on the 11th of July, and let's take some time to really set up a goal, and maybe we can commit to updating each other via our WhatsApp group. We created a WhatsApp group. So maybe we can update everyone by next Friday. So we'll have like a touch point just for a text next Friday. So we don't postpone everything for 2 weeks from now.
Is it okay if I include my preview link in the page there? It needs a lot of work, and I just got feedback that the cover is too earth tones. It needs to be brighter for the cover image. And I still have to do but I just kind of want to show you what I've done as a kind of accountability that this is okay. Thank you. So I've added my rewards. I've got some of the story done. I want to tweak the story. I need more about who am I. Obviously, I need to change the graphics now that I've got, and I'm going to have the rotating images like we talked about earlier. And I'm going to do the same thing for the reviews that I've got. Or would you recommend, because I've got the reviews in a graphic, just one for each book in the series, but I'm thinking, should I just have a shorter review and have those as text?
So repeat the question again.
So I've got some graphics of reviews for each book. And I'm wondering if instead of having the graphics, if I should have just the text of the review.
No, the graphics are always better. Graphics are always a winner. It looks really good.
Yeah, Teresa, one thing that came up during the Kickstarter meeting we had this week was the sizing of some of these images. So like the one that says 3 mysteries with the 3 books, you might like make that taller and increase the size of the books so people can see them better.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And I was at I'm not going to use that graphic. I just hadn't removed it yet because those covers are going to change and it's a little too
Okay.
dark. And I'm thinking because I'm going to have the video, so the image that I put as a placeholder now at the top, once that's fixed, then that's going to go as the separator.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The image I think
Yeah.
up top that we're looking at right now, that looks great. Like that's a good size. You can see the whole
Okay.
book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shows off the cover. I like that a lot.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to comment on Teresa's project? Corey, Jamie? Anyone?
I'm looking at it right now. It the images that like right above Peril on the peninsula, the image of the Adirondack chairs looking out over the water. I feel like the sky is a lot of open space there. Maybe that's something you want to have. I don't know. I feel like you could either put some words there about your story in some way, or put Peril in the Peninsula on there in the graphic. It just feels like an open space is just begging for something else to be in the picture.
Yeah. Those actually, what I'm going to do, that's going to be, I'm going to start pulling images that I've taken that are going to be in the book as inspiration for different scenes.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's more of a placeholder. So this is really raw right now, but thank you for that feedback. And so that when I do include these images, I'll make sure to make it clear these are the ones that are going to go in the book. So at the end of each book, I will have color images in the hardcover that'll be the inspiration for the scenes. So instead of like character art, then I'm having these actual images is my plan. But that's, yeah, so what I will take that in, thank you for that.
Great. I love that. And
Teresa, Isabella said something similar in the chat, but I think it's usually I try and have, because people read in different ways. And so anything that I have in text, I usually also like to have in an image. So, like the details of what's going to be in the special edition, a trope card, I think would probably work well for each of the books individually, with the little arrows and stuff. That I think that usually is a good idea. And I don't know committed how committed are you to the title Alex Page Cozy Travel Mysteries? Because
Not.
what's that?
I'm not. So whatever suggestions you
I don't necessarily have like a great suggestion, having not read the books and not being familiar with them, and also not being great with titles. But I think it could be nice to have like a series title, like for whatever like I don't know, the mystery of travel, let's just say. And have that
travel is murder.
Yes, something like that. Something like that is like makes this seem special, and also I think gives you a little bit more design options for your cover once you finally get down to it. Because when you have a really fun title, then it can influence what your cover is going to end up looking like. And if you're going to change your cover anyway, then you might as well think about that.
Okay. Yeah, and what I see, because they're already, I've got the first 6 books already up on, they've been out there. So the series name is just Alex Page Cozy Travel Mysteries for the series. So I don't know if I can change that. I know I can't change subtitles on print. Do any of you know if you can change a series name?
You don't need to change it on like Amazon or whatever. Like
just give it a special, okay.
Yeah, you could just say that this is like, Travel is Murder and Alex Page Travel Mystery Special Edition or something like that.
Got it. All right, thank you. That's awesome. Because I was like, that nobody knows who Alex Page is except for the people who read it, and I'm reaching a new audience. So awesome. Thank you.
I thought it was your pen name. So
that's good. That's
They're
good.
like a geographic focus to it, like where they take place.
Well, they're in different locations. So the first one's in Door County, the second one is in Colorado Springs, and the third is in Gulf Shores, Alabama, because my protagonist is a travel writer. So
Okay.
each book's in a different location.
Interesting.
Are they
Cool.
contemporary or are they
Yeah.
okay? I was just thinking it would be fun to have gifs of like the old style Indiana Jones style
Okay.
thing, like the plane going across the ocean or something like that.
Mhm.
Just something to sort of that sort of says travel in that way.
Okay. Oh, I like that idea.
Ooh, the headers could be like map themed.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love you guys. Thank you.
All right. I want to make sure that everyone pasted something in the chat. All right. Good. Well, I I do want to say that we have a few more minutes if anyone wants to share a screen. If that is not the case, I'm really looking forward to seeing us first of all texting in 7 days from now, just so we can touch base, hold each other accountable, maybe encourage people in the WhatsApp chat, and then not physically, but virtually on video in 2 weeks from now. I do want to see that we have everyone in the group. So I see that Cody and Corey and Isabella and Jamie and Christina are in the group. Teresa is not in the group. So maybe Teresa, if you can stay here for a second, I'll help logging you into that WhatsApp group. Okay, that's chat. Anyone else wants to share anything? Let's do a. Go
I can
ahead.
share my campaign real quick if you
Let's
guys
do
want to
that.
take a look.
Let's do that
Sure.
for sure.
Okay. 2. Okay. So this is my campaign. I just changed this cover image, and I've designed a whole bunch of different images that are similar to this so that I can sort of switch them out. I'm not going to play the video for you because I know that it's terrible, and we'll deal with that in 2 weeks when I am ready to show you guys the video. Okay, so when I originally designed this, everything had this dark background, this like maroon background. And I decided that I wanted to change it to have more of this sort of like creamy silk background so that it would be clearer and also, just like a little bit more luxurious. So I've been working on updating all of these images. Like I said, I've got, anything that's written down is also kind of in an image. So it'll have, this is the book itself. It's got, sprayed edges. And then the cover is double-sided. So it'll have this on the inside, this on the outside. It's got end papers and a matching bookmark stuff. I'm not sure whether I should change these title headers to also be that same sort of silky, like white cream color, or if I should keep them burgundy like this. I kind of like that it offers like a little bit of definition, but I'm not sure that it's effective the way that I want it to be. So then these are my trope cards for each of the 4 books. And I did these in Canva, but these are art that I had I had an artist design for me on Instagram. And so this is all 4 books. And then this is reviews, just kind of the whole series. I wasn't sure if I should do individual book reviews or if I should just do these, sort of more general reviews. I might throw a few more on here just to make it seem, just to fill it out a little bit because it seems sparse and I have plenty of reviews. I don't know why I only put 4 on there. Anyway. So yeah, and then the way I've structured this is basically it's like I start with the story and then I go into the special edition of the book. So this is what's going to be special about the hardcover. And I've got my picture of the book, I've got my chapter headings, I've got more stuff here, and then I'll have a video here of me like with the book, you know, showing off the features. But I haven't done that yet. And then I've got this same sort of flower theme for the NSFW artwork. It's actually not too spicy for Kickstarter. Kickstarter will let you do nudity, but I'm doing it this way because I want to like create a sense of mystery and you know, get people excited about purchasing it. So yeah, I've got the bookmark sets, these character cards. And again, I sort of designed all of this stuff so that it would be able to ship flat with the books or in just an envelope. So I wouldn't have to worry about packing anything unless we got into the higher tiers. And then audiobooks, ebooks, and then the tiers themselves. So I'm still struggling a little bit with how to like make all of this clear, but like buy them separately, or you can get a bundle. And here's like all the whole bundle. And then here's the dragon bundle. And then this one has a couple of options that will be a little bit more complicated to ship, but this is my highest tier item. So my, like if I'm charging, you know, $200 for this or whatever, I can afford to spend a little bit more on shipping. And I've also, these are all things that I can do relatively cheaply, but that I can make feel special for the people who order it. And then I've just got, you know, risks and challenges. I need to update this. And then use of AI. I don't have a part where it's like, who am I? Which I think I need to include. I feel like this is looking pretty good, but it doesn't feel very personal. And I would like for it to feel more personal. So any suggestions on that would be great. And then I'll just show you the tiers really quick. I've got too far. I need to put, yeah, there's a back it because you love it tier. And then, you know, the ebook individually, the audiobooks, the special edition hardcover, and I have an early bird and a regular tier. I haven't totally settled on this pricing yet. I want to spend a little bit more time looking at other people's Kickstarters and see what they're charging for this sort of thing. But I don't think I'm totally out of line for what I'm seeing people charge for like hardcovers. There's also sometimes people who advise you to also offer a paperback. And I don't know if I want to do that because I don't necessarily want to have to order paperbacks and hardbacks, but then it's also a nice option for my customers. So I don't know. I need to do a little bit more budgeting if I'm going to offer that part. So yeah.
Great. You guys, we have about 3 minutes for feedback.
I would definitely do like a paragraph or two author note on why this series, why you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that'll personalize it a little bit more. You know, what is it about this that you had to write it? You know, what is it about it that you were the right person to tell this story? I think that might be something that can connect some readers to, you know, oh, I'm like that too. I think I love this story. You know, that kind of thing.
Great. Any other comment?
I dropped my notes in the chat, but I like the darker headlines because I think if you use the cream background, it would run too much with the other graphics, and this is like a better way to break it up, I think. But yeah, like Jamie said about the personalization, I do have a question about like the tiers. I know that you can do like a featured tier when you like actually launch, but I think in the story itself, if you wanted to switch the bundle to be the first one that readers hit, if that's the main one you want them to buy.
I don't really
And
know.
then
I mean, it would be nice, but I don't really expect anybody. I don't expect that many people to go for the big bundle, but that's not a bad idea to put it first.
is there like if they buy the bundle together, like, is that cheaper than if they bought, like, say, all 3 items separately? Or are you including like more?
That's
like,
the idea, is
Okay.
that, but I need to make sure everything's priced out correctly so
Right.
that it actually is a deal for them to get everything. So that's something I really need to work on, is make sure all the pricing is exactly where I want it to be.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I would, yeah, once that's figured out, I would just be like, save X amount of dollars or whatever, enticing language. And then, yeah, I think my last note was just, I don't know if I saw anything about fulfillment, or if that's just something you're still, like, the pricing of the shipping, or if you're using Pledge Manager.
I hadn't decided yet whether I was going to use Pledge Manager, or I haven't watched that video where they talk about Pledge Manager, and I was at the meeting on Tuesday, but I don't feel like I still don't feel like I totally understand how it works. And I think based on when you're using Pledge Manager, are you sending everything to your house or are they sending it out for you?
We have 1 minute to answer that question.
I think Cody, did you use it, or
Yeah,
Jamie?
so it's I'm not even sure like what the value is of it, because I don't have it. I didn't do this before Pledge Manager to compare it to. I think if you use it, it can help you generate all the like mailing lists. But I use that. I use stamps.com for that anyway. So it's a little fuzzy to me, like exactly what all the improvements are. Like I listened to the meeting and I saw all the features, but I don't know what it's improving on from before. It's a little fuzzy. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that they do is the Pledge Manager, when people use fill out the survey and as the Pledge Manager, Kickstarter collects tax for you. So it alleviates you from having the tax burden of, having to have a sales tax account in every state and overseas and whatnot. So they'll collect all the relevant taxes under Kickstarter's bucket, and you don't have to worry about it, which is nice. It's one less thing to have to, from a business standpoint. So that would be one of the big things. The other thing is, from a Pledge Manager standpoint, they aren't charging you for it, and I made almost $200 in add-ons in the Pledge Manager. So, other Pledge Managers charge you a fee, and this is just built into Kickstarter. So I think if you're going to use a Pledge Manager, use theirs. It doesn't have all the features the others have, but it has most of them.
I have seen that if you use that, then they'll charge sales tax on the back end, even for ebooks, because they
Yes.
have to. So there's
Yes.
something to put in your story that
Yes.
FYI, you're also going to get charged this at the end, just so that the backers know.
Good.
That makes sense.
And unfortunately, I have a hard stop because I have another meeting in a couple of minutes in this room. I want to thank you all so much for the commitment and for showing up and playing full out. Let's text each other on the WhatsApp group, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Happy holiday.
Yeah.
John, I didn't even have WhatsApp set up. So if you just,
Set it up, just
I set it up now, but
yeah. Okay, perfect. So the link is in the chat. Send the link from the chat to your phone. Like, send it to yourself from the chat to your phone, like using SMS or email. Email yourself that link that I
okay,
pasted. So
got
and
it.
open the link in your phone, and it will. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
We'll talk.
Thank
We'll
you
talk
so
soon.
much.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
And thank you, Destiny, as well.
I apologize. I was